Hello, welcome back. You are a returning, I guess, guest or viewer that would like to have a chat about something, and I try and keep an open door policy. So, what would you like to chat about?
Yeah, I wanted to just talk about, I guess, libertarianism as far as like, the anarcho-capitalist overview of how would our society work in a lawless, order. Because I am starting to see that there's like a lot of conflicts that certain, people that claim to be libertarian to say that, argumentation ethics don't apply in a stateless society versus some people saying that, that the non-aggression principle wouldn't exist. And, I've just been confused, about how to properly align with the best, consistent viewpoint of how to keep everything consistent with the philosophy.
Okay, can you tell me more about more specifically, what you'd like to talk to me about? I mean, that was a good overview, but it didn't really give me anything specific that you're, struggling with or curious about, or, um,
Yeah, I would probably talk about natural law and the non-aggression principle. I
okay.
think I'm very, yeah, like I think I'm understanding it very well, but I think as far as whenever I have those type of status, I try to say, oh, well, what is natural law, versus from positivist status rights, and how do you, how should I say, how do you determine proper ethics, within a libertarian society versus like a government status, worldview, right?
I mean, it's a very deep and broad, wide topic. So this is like something that I've been studying for years and I'm still not done. So it's going to be kind of hard to probably make a whole lot of progress in one conversation. But I mean, I can at least give you an overview of the way I see things.
Yeah.
I am a critic of natural law moral philosophies. I don't think that they're valid. I don't think that they hold up to criticism. I think they're based on some superstitions, and the superstitions vary between which flavor of natural law you're talking about. And I know what I just said is a controversial statement among some, but I can defend it, and I have defended it, and I'm happy to continue doing so if anybody disagrees with me. So, a brief overview would be something like Rothbard's conception of natural law is based on something he defines called the nature of man, man's nature, which he attempts to hold as an objective reference point for building an objective moral realist philosophy around. Unfortunately, man's nature is a varied and subjective concept in and of itself. So it's like building a marble house on quicksand. It doesn't work. I did a video you can find on Disenthrall where we deconstructed that, as well as some of his terrible takes on children and the rights of children. But anyway, that's a digression. No,
Yeah, yeah.
aside from his foundational moral philosophy, Rothbard is amazing. I love reading Rothbard. So just reminder to you in the audience that I'm criticizing a very specific piece of the thing that Rothbard produced, not the man himself or everything that he published. I love the great majority of it. And I'm talking about this because you specifically asked about sort of the moral philosophy backing liberty. There's another flavor of natural law. There's many flavors of natural law that most people don't know that there is. There's like the founding fathers of the country natural law. There's like the Mark Passio because I said so natural law. We also did a long 13-hour stream rebutting Passio's conception of natural law. You can check that out on Disenthrall as well. So I've unfortunately, and I'm not happy about this, it would be great if one of these natural objective moralities held up, because wow, what a foundation that would be for libertarian ends, as well as just how to know what's good and evil in life. There's other conceptions that I have looked through and challenged as well. You've got objectivism, you've got universally preferable behavior. It's technically on the list, though I think it's probably the weakest of them. You have Hans Hoppe's argumentation ethics, which we, I don't know, less than a year ago now, did a complete destruction of argumentation ethics as a moral philosophy and even as a logical concept. So we've done a lot of work to try and clarify them. I mean, look, this is we've only been around 30 to 50 years as sort of an ideology, a libertarian or anarcho-capitalist ideology. So it's natural that we're going to have a lot of room to refine our ideas in the beginning. And it's not unexpected, and it's not done maliciously. It's, in fact, it's the opposite. When we take large quantities of time out of our life to read and study and then critique someone's ideas, that's a deep sign of respect. And that's been my intention with all of the critiques that we've done. And the other side of that is, we didn't just go around telling other people why they're wrong. We also created something of our own and put ourselves out there with our ideas on what we think a solid foundation for libertarian conclusions, libertarian moral ends would be. And that's anti-subjectivism. I don't know if you've read the manifesto, but anybody can do that. It's antisubjectivism.com. It's like a 10-page manifesto. It's not a big book, but it makes a foundational argument of where to start for a moral philosophy that leaves you with consent and property as the foundations, or as the prime moral indicators. So that's me kind of giving you a 10,000-foot flyover of libertarian moral philosophies in a really crappy way. So if you have any questions or thoughts, you tell me where you'd like to go.
As far as like what libertarians are trying to like achieve to get to the stateless society, would it be better if we started to come up with like, I guess, like certain type of like events to get people to understand moral philosophy from the ground up, and then just start recruiting people, you know, to get people together, kind of similar to what you did with I guess like the anarcho-poco like events, where like you went down to like start, you know, having like these type of conferences and trying to get people, you know, to get more interested in the philosophy. But it's more to like actually like go after like the more important issues to get people's mind away from statism and think more about, you know, individualism, you know, at a much more, you know, higher level, right?
So is your question, what should we be doing to free the world? That kind of seems like a summary of what you were asking, or is it something else?
Yeah, that question. What more can I do on my own, you know, time frame to try to contribute more to, you know, the libertarian philosophy?
Mm, that is a much better question than what can we all do? Like, I'll give you some answers for the what can we all do question, but they're not going to be very exciting, because it's going to be something like find what you're good at and do it. There is no one way. We need to try a lot of things, because it's going to take a lot of different things to make it work. When you ask, what can you be doing? It's a lot easier for me to answer in a way that I think will work for just about anybody asking me that question, because I don't know you, right? So it's going to be live your life well and morally, be a paragon of our ideas and our principles. Don't hurt people, don't take their stuff, don't defraud people, don't lie, be a good person. Because people they seek out and want to learn from successful, good people. So be a successful, good person. Bust ass. Get somewhere in your career. Make some good money. Be successful. Do that while being a good person. And people will ask you to tell them about your philosophy for life and business and relationships. That's when you actually affect the world around you, is when people are wanting to learn from you. And the way you make them want to learn from you is to be the type of person other people can look up to and use as an example. And that's the best thing you can do for yourself. to spread liberty in the world is to just live a really good, successful life. If you end up having kids, my answer changes. Once you have children, the most powerful form of activism is to raise them in a principled, peaceful home. And that's why I made a bunch of videos on peaceful parenting for the Peaceful Parenting University, because most people aren't raised peacefully or principled, with consent and property being fundamental to your home. So once you get to that point, my answer would change, and I would be like, look, now that you've made yourself hopefully a good person and a successful person, now you need to focus on creating the world that you want to see in your own home, because that will create children that grow up wanting that and expecting that and striving to make what was in your home a reality, because that's how kids work. And that's the real way to change the world.
Yeah, that is definitely like a bigger objective to like accomplish because
Yeah, so the advice is pretty short and simple and straightforward. It's not, hey, organize some big event or get a bunch of people together to do some big thing or hold a bunch of debates with a bunch of people to try and change their mind. Look, most of that shit doesn't change anybody's mind. Even working on philosophy, like is my passion, doesn't change many people's minds, because most people hold their positions by feelings rather than by reason and evidence. And that's just the nature of the species. And I'm not going to change that. You're not going to change that. So the best way to reach people's feelings, to change how they see the world and lead their own lives, is to be a person that they appreciate and look up to. And then they'll come looking to you to lead them. Why would we want to follow someone or have someone be a mentor to us if they were, broke in their parents' basement? Like the people that we want to be mentored by are the really driven, successful, happy people. So be that person, and then you'll be a mentor to others.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, because like I feel like as far as like where we are right now, like I don't think humanity is like all broken. I do think like where we are in this current age of a informational age era, there should be more, influence that can reach out to people, in a more helpful manner. So therefore people can be like attached, to like the right pieces, of people that they can look up to.
All right. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? I don't want to cut you short.
Yeah, one more thing. Like I just wanted to just say, as far as of like what you are doing with the feed the need, is that still, going on, right?
I don't believe it actually happened in any kind of large scale last year. It might have just been a few guys going out. The homeless situation in Dallas has changed significantly. The government has run a lot of homeless people out of the area, and the situation has significantly changed. They're much more spread out now. They used to be all in kind of one area, so we could bring the food to them, but now they're spread out everywhere. So if we want to donate food, we have to drive all over the place to find them each time we do it, because they're in different places, because once a week they get ran out of wherever they are. And so it's been a big difference. There's it's harder to help, and there's not as much help needed in some ways, and in other ways it's kind of worse. So this is a long answer to just say last year we didn't have a big event. This year I don't know if we're going to be able to have one. So if we do, I'll make an announcement on the channel and inviting people to either come out and help or to donate or whatever. So that'll be on Anarchast.
Oh, okay. Is it still like illegal to, help like via homeless?
Yes, they modified the limitations around it such that you can do a little bit more before you piss them off and get guns pointed at you. But
Wow.
the limits were nowhere near like raised to where the event that we were doing would be legal. So, I mean, like, if you wanted to go out and hand out a few sandwiches, that would now be legal. But doing a big event where we actually hand out a lot of food, that's still illegal.
That's absolutely wild because like I just don't understand like how that's somehow illegal, knowing that homeless people need food like every day.
Yep. Welcome to statism. We're going to control everyone in the area and tell you that you can't help people. For the people you're trying to feed's safety. Like, don't worry that they're starving and have no money. We don't want you giving them food that might not be prepared according to our standards. Or we'll throw you in a cage. Good luck. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just absolutely wild. All right, yep, I think that's about it.
All right. Well, thanks for the chat.
Yes, sir. Like, I appreciate it.